Hello again everyone, I'm Nesbit, you're the People of Skyrim. Okay, I'm just going to share this stream. And then we'll get in game. And I'll let you know what's been going on. Bloody capitals. Okay, hello again everyone, sorry about that. So let's begin. Okay, I'm just going to check the stream. I just want to check that, yeah, everything seems to be working. I hope you can hear me okay. If you can, let me know, okay? But you should be able to hear me okay. Just getting game. Now we're going to continue from where we left off yesterday, and we're going to advance 48 hours. Since the last stream, I've disabled, or I've added a script that will disable the dragons. Okay, once they've respawned, so the remaining, well, only a small percentage of the dragons respawn, and that was the Skyrim default ones. So I've added a script to those that means, you know, they won't constantly be respawning once you've killed them, so there'll be one-off kills and that'll be it. I've also added the same script to a couple of the bandits that spawn along the roads, because they're quite hardcore, so you only ever meet them once. And that's what I've basically done this morning, and I've done a few other touch-ups to the patch. For enhanced lights and not enhanced lights and FX. Let me start again. For Lux Via, Lux Orbis. Okay. So we're going to go through to the day now. Now, what I'm hoping to see, the areas that I've been to, I don't want to be seeing any more dragon spawns, or not the game's vanillas, but the ones that I've added. If you don't know TPOSC, it adds loads of new dragon spawns as you complete the main quest stages. Okay. So if I haven't been to an area and I see my spawns, that's okay, but I know the areas I've been to, and if I see stuff respawn, then you know, I might need to start a new game. I will be starting a new game. Let me backtrack a little bit here. Bear with me, folks. Okay. If you're new to the stream, there are 15 other episodes of this stream and this test for Nexus mod packs for the People of Skyrim Complete, because that's what this is all about. Testing the People of Skyrim Complete with all the mods that I'm running and making sure this mod pack is stable and works well, and then I'll be releasing it on the Nexus for people that wants to use TPOSC but never felt sort of they either had enough knowledge or time to run it. So, you know, you can just download it from the mod pack section once it's uploaded and use TPOSC. So what I'm doing here in these streams is testing the People of Skyrim Complete with all the other mods that I'm running. Okay, all the textures, all the other scripted mods, you know, so on. And for Lux Via, Lux Orbis and Lux, there's a anchoring patch, and that anchoring patch also anchors and you know, supports JK's interiors. The lists of all the mods I'm running you can see on the first video or stream that I did, which is in the description box. All the previous streams are in the description box. Okay, I will be coming out now and again to see if anyone's joined me and if anyone's got any questions. All right. I said at the end of the last video we'll be checking out the House of Zell. We will be. I've edited around the House of Zell, and I placed a few collisions there that was required, and I checked the outside of the stream, I checked the dragon that spawned there and made sure that you know, he behaved as he should, and he did, so that's okay, so that's all sorted. And once I've done a bit more testing, I will be starting a new game tomorrow, because that will allow all these changes, you know, we'll be able to, what I'm saying is we're going to check all these changes from the very beginning again. I probably won't be doing the main quest because I know how that functions now, and I haven't adapted that at all. All I've actually done is, like I say, you know, just stop the dragons from respawning continuously, those few that did, and some of the bandits. And again, like I said, I've done some work on the anchoring patch that you'll see at the bottom of the load order when you check out the load order for this playthrough. I just want to check this area here first off, because I've edited in the patch this area, and around this Lux Via added light source. I just want to get a sense and feeling of movement around the area. That's okay. And then I want to go to the sawmill in a minute. I want to check that out. In fact, we'll do that now.
Do you get to the Cloud District very often?
Again, I just want to check the quality of the stream.
Of course you don't.
Okay. So, I'm now just going to fast travel to some of the places where I noticed some things yesterday. And I just want to check in this, you know, with this playthrough, and then I'm going to start again and check in a new playthrough. Now, it may be, yeah, I've hit him. It may be I need to start a new game, but we'll find out in a sec.
I never would have believed it.
My point is here, what I'm saying is, I know we've just gone through 48 hours, but I might need to start a new game for my scripts to take effect, which I probably will, to be honest. Oh, I hit him, that's good. Okay, so that's the 3 dragons down, I think. You will come down. But what I didn't feel here, as these guys were... Let's just make sure he's dead. He is. I don't think he is. He is now. I'm not feeling the pull I got during the last time I was here, so the patchwork seems to have done the job. It wasn't nothing serious. I'm going to go through to the morning, folks. I just want some light on the subject, unless we get a good light during the night with some... no, we're not going to. Okay. Just go through to the day. So yeah, so probably to get a true test of these spawns and that the scripts are working, I'm probably going to have to start a new game, which I was aware of. But I wanted to get all the edits done that I picked up on today, and I have. All the required edits are done. Just looking at this here. This is where bits of road are missing, either through erosion or war or something like that. I'm using Skyrim 2020 textures. Okay, so that's correct. The bits of road missing there are correct. I removed them as part of the settlement. You know, the constant imperial road, or with no real imperfections in them. Yes. I just didn't like at all. So it didn't make sense to me. So I wanted to add some erosion, to the roads and stuff like that, or pieces missing that that were accounted by erosion. Okay. And again, there's lots of points of interest with the People of Skyrim Complete. Little traps, extra enemies everywhere. Well, how I missed that. Okay, so I am going to continue running about because it's possible, I doubt it, but it's possible I might have missed these with the reset, or or updated. Is what I'm saying. I might not have updated this little area. I might have missed the dragons here, although I did systematically go through the list in a systematic way. But we'll do a bit more running around in this stream today. I'm going to play for an hour or so, and I'm going to see what else I can see, what else might show up, I might have missed, what else might need adjusting. Okay, so I'm going to just carry on playing, but tomorrow, I'm going to start a new stream, because that's the only true way to gauge all these tiny changes that I've done, especially with scripts. All the landscape changes are easy to see. I don't need to start a new game for that, but there's been some small nav mesh work and some small script work which will impact. And actually I didn't come this far. This is interesting, and I can feel it pulls a little. So I've got to come into the patch here and just check this area. I can feel a little bit pull as I approach this, because I expect there's a crossover from TPOSC and Lux Via. So I just need to come around here and just do a little bit of adjustment. I can feel it for sure. That's a definite. And that's, again, just experience. I just know after all these years when something needs doing. And I know exactly what's going to be causing it more often than not as well. Anyway, but that's, if you don't after 10 years, there's something seriously fucking wrong, isn't there? I mean, but anyway, here's more Lux stuff, which is really nice as well. Lux Via or Orbis, one or the other. I haven't seen that before, so again, this is another reason for having this playthrough. The People of Skyrim Complete I made, yeah, Sung, yeah. Again, if it's hard on your system, then you've probably got a conflict. Okay, and that's the whole point of this mod pack. And if you look at the first video, you can see what I'm running. I'm running the first video of this collection of videos. And in the description, look at the first stream I did, Sung, and you'll see a list of all the mods I'm using. You'll see the load order in which I'm running everything, and all the patches, which isn't on Nexus quite yet. And you'll see the Vortex load up of all the scripts I'm running for AE and whatever. But you can also run this for SSE. All you've got to do is adjust those scripts for those mods that you would use, for example, like the power of threes, stuff like that. So yeah, again, I'm running a huge amount here, and I've had no issues in all the streams I've had. Basically what we've had is a few lighting crossovers with Lux, which I've got a patch I'm developing with this stream, which binds everything together, and that's the whole point of doing this test as well. It could be a number of things, mate. I mean, it could be all sorts. I mean, again, you can come on over to the Discord and load up your load order, and I can take a look at it. There's a link to the Discord in the description. But it could be a number of things. I mean, for example, I've already got a Lux Via patch out already, but the one I'm running is Lux Via, Lux Orbis, and Lux. It's also patching for JK, so it's an all-in-one patch. And that's the whole point of this mod pack for Nexus. So you can have one anchoring patch that brings everything together with this load order and this mod pack, but you can adapt it to your own usage as long as you overwrite and you're sensible when you make your adjustments. But the point I'm making is, it could be a number of different things. But the whole point of this testing is to run through this mod pack and make sure it's all functional and spot on. And the only things I've seen so far is some lighting issues which I've worked on. I'm adapting TPOSC, the People of Skyrim Complete, and I've removed a few things so it works better with other mods. Some things other people have brought up. I've got to adjust some lighting with Lux because some of the light sources I've added clash with Lux Via, or Lux Orbis, so I've been dealing with that. But we've had nothing major, no crashes, no nothing in all these streams that I've been doing, and they've been about an hour or so, hour 20 minutes each roughly. So and again, most people that if as long as your load order is stable, you should have no problems with the People of Skyrim Complete. It's a well tested mod. It's been around for a long time. Generally, Just running too much or having a mod conflict is where you get issues. But that's the whole point of these streams, to, you know, prove, you know, the concept, the use of it. It's a complex mod to use, without a doubt. I'll give you that. You've got to know what you're doing, but it is usable. It's very usable. You just got to have the right patches in support and not overload your load order, you know, your load order and all the mods you're using, and build around TPOSC basically. I'll go back in game, but you have any questions, ask me and I'll answer them as I come in and out. So yeah, I mean, I'll give you an example. Whenever you use a mod, right, any mod, now I'll tell you something, right, even with TPOSC, so this is to help you, really. This is a bit of knowledge, right? Okay, now Lux Via or Lux Orbis, they're only adding, in most cases, well, Lux Via does change nav mesh too, so that's a bit more complicated, but let's just pretend for a moment, right, that all an author does is add something like this with a lamppost, right, and with some signposts on it, okay, and then he puts a collision, and a collision is so NPCs don't walk in and keep going like that on an object, all right. So he's put a collision in so NPCs will traverse around it, or he's nav meshed the area so they know how to get around an object, and they don't do this like this for half hour and they stay there, you know, because they're running into an object, so they don't know that the object's there. So basically a collision or nav mesh work tells an NPC where things are, all right. So, but even a small item like this, right, if it's got a collision or a bit of nav mesh work, and I've also edited this cell, say, with some nav mesh or even a spawn, because the area is shared, the cell is shared, it can cause a minor conflict. But if you, as you go along, right, and I'll just run back here, and then you've got this bridge as well, and I can feel just a slight pull, just a slight bit of resistance, and I know because TPOSC edits this area, okay, with nav mesh, because that's why TPOSC has to be at the bottom of your load order, and then the patches after it, because I edit all over Skyrim, so it's like a whole new web, a whole new interconnected conversation of nav mesh, okay, because I have settlements everywhere, and a lot of the areas I've reworked over the years to perfect the stability of the mod, so it's complicated. And then of course Lux adds this, right, so then, you know, this, yeah, there you go, look, there's direct proof of what's going on there. Yeah, there's direct proof, you see, that just proves my point. Now that just proves my point that there's a conflict here between TPOSC and Lux Via. So I have to edit. Now that's brilliant, because that's just proved that pull that I was on about and what I'm saying about conflicts. I know there's a conflict here, and I've got to come back in and work it in the patch, in the anchoring patch at the end of this load order. And that's why I'm doing these streams, to pick up on all these tiny little things. Now you imagine, right, you are running hundreds of different mods, many with world edits, and you wonder why, you know, if just two mods, right, just two mods can do this. You imagine what's happening when you're running all those mods with all those world edits, and they're crossing over, or, you know, it may not even be in world edits, it could be other things as well that can cause conflicts, you know. So that just goes to show how complicated running a good load order is. It takes a lot of years, a lot of practice, and a lot of patience, and a lot of knowledge. Okay, it's just a simple fact. And for a lot of people, they don't have that time. Who's this? And that's the point of this mod pack, and that's the point of me doing all this work, so you don't have to. In fact, I'm really pleased that happened, because that just highlighted exactly what I was saying about that pull I felt, about that friction that I could feel between TPOSC and Lux Via, or Lux Orbis, maybe both. And so the patch that I'm making will anchor all that. So that's another reason I'm running all over Skyrim, because the People of Skyrim Complete, you know, changes a lot. Now we're going to come up to I think we might have done this in a previous stream, I can't remember. Did we do this bandit camp? I think we did. Let's just think where I'm going to go. I'll just come out and see if there's any more questions. Yeah, it did. But that just proves the point, you see, mate, about conflicts. You know, you can have an Arthmore conflict, where Arthmore mod, sorry, where he just adds one house or something, like in his early work, you know, like a Dragon Bridge, and then you can run other mods with it, but they can conflict hugely badly, because you've got two mods editing that cell, and it could be... oh, what's going on? Are they attacking? Oh, right, I was about to say. You know, and they'll both be probably touching the nav mesh maybe, or adding collisions. And actually collisions are just as bad as nav mesh, touching nav mesh, because collisions, like for example Lux Via, right, he adds loads of collisions around his poles here. He doesn't nav mesh them. Now, like I say, collisions are really useful. They're a quick and easy way to tell NPCs what's around without touching nav mesh, because nav mesh is far more complicated. But collisions for me are more problematic than fucking nav mesh. They really are. I'd rather nav mesh every last little bit and stitch everything together than use lots of collisions, because when you're having a lot of mods that use collisions like JK's, alright, Lux and all the rest of them, it's really fucking hard work then to blend them all together, because they inherently, in my experience, cause more issues rather than not. You know, because they're all using these collisions, and just one collision can cause NPCs, one collision too many can cause NPCs to go tits up in what they're supposed to be doing via their routines and other stuff. Alright, or placed in the wrong place, so on and so forth. Now it looks like the dragons are still respawning, so it looks like I'm going to have to start a new game. Oh, I forgot. I covered this, I think, the other day. This area, I'm quite sure I did. I forgot I didn't do the other side. And TPOSC obviously edits all the towns, cities, and most of the villages, bar a few. So what I'm saying is, you know, if you're getting conflicts, okay, with mods, and you've got a lot of mods loaded up, you've got to make sure they're patched for properly, or running them in the right load order. And there's an art to it, and it's not easy to get, you know, I mean, in this, actually just picking up on something here, it's not a slight difference in the scene there. I'm running Skyrim 2020, but that's because I'm running this mud parallax texture by Pufisher, I think it's called correctly, and there's just a crossover with his seams there, so I need to adjust that. A small little thing I'm picking up there, folks. So going back to what I was saying, you know, on their own, all these mods are great, some great mods out there, but then when you're stitching them all together, it can be bloody hard work. And to run a successful load order well is hard work. It's just simple fact. And you know, very few people have the time. And again, of course, I'm cheating, folks, because I'm testing my work. I don't want to be running around for 20 minutes killing my prey. I just want to test what I'm doing and move on, you know, test the area, move on, and test everything that's been added. So yeah, getting back to what I was saying, getting distracted. Yeah, I mean, if you're getting conflicts, I mean, again, what I will say is, you know, all those little imperfections the People of Skyrim Complete had, and what I mean is with other mods like 2020, because I changed a lot of the landscape textures. I'm resolving in this patch, or in the main file, sorry. Like you just saw in Darkwater there, in Skyrim CK, right, a lot of my edits, they look absolutely fine, because they're mixed up with vanilla textures. But sometimes with other texture mods, you'll get those crossover of scenes like with 2020. And so what I'm doing is, with this playthrough as well, is making sure, that's a bit off water there, but I've noticed that with SE, and I'm investigating that right now, so to find out what's going on, because I don't actually edit this water or this area at all. I only had a few spawns here, yet for some reason I've been noticing that with water. I've got to check that now and again, not everywhere, just now and again. Again, getting sidetracked, there's so much to discuss really, but let's just stand still a minute and think about what I was saying. What was I saying about spawns and stuff? Oh, the landscape. Yeah, so I'm just making sure everything, you know, is just all those little details are correct for this mod pack. So I'm adjusting TPOSC slightly in terms of light sources, stuff like that, making sure the landscape is well melded with Skyrim 2020, and that should help it with other texture packs as well. Again, I'm making all these supporting patches for Lux Via, JK's interiors, the Broomer ship mod at Dawnstar, Broomer Wares, something like that. There's a patch for that. Skyrim Underground and other stuff as well. And when this is all checked out, when this is all, I'm sure of all of this, which will probably be the end of the month, maybe before, then I'll release the patches and the updates for TPOSC. Yeah. So do I, mate. You know, this is why I play the game. You know, for people that, you know, with TPOSC, that you are more limited in what you can use in terms of other mod authors, in terms of towns and cities, because I edit everything. There's TPOS2 or TPOS2 SSE or TPOS2 AE, which is the newer version of this, because this was a no compromise mod really. But TPOS2 versions SE or AE, you can run any town city mod you want, immersive citizens, cutting room floor. You can run all of those types of mods with that version of TPOS in the series with no compromises. You don't have to compromise at all. The only place I edit in TPOSC of the vanilla is Heartwood Mill. So yeah, you can do just about anything with TPOSC, and it's very adaptable, very user friendly. The People of Skyrim Complete is not, because it's an immersive all-in-one mod with its border hodes, sorry, with its inns, edits, with every town, city in that modded. So yeah, but that's the whole point, you know. I mean, the reason I made TPOSC all those years ago was to, you know, because back in the LE days, it was really difficult. Modern was even more difficult. I don't know if you were about then. You know, the engine was far more limited, you know. So I made. Oh, hold on, just dispatch some of these if I actually see what I'm doing. Did I get on this? Did I? For God's sake. Bear with me, mate, while I concentrate. Whoever's listening, I concentrate on this because my archery isn't the best. Okay, right. And I'll tell you something else as well, which I've said. I did hit him, didn't I? Yeah, I did. In previous streams, right? Let me share some other knowledge with you as well, right? If you look at my earlier streams, I was actually running. I ran DynDOLOD 3, right? I ran DynDOLOD 3 on its highest setting because I wanted to be ambitious for my streams, and I also had 4K and 8K textures and all the rest of it, and my dragons wasn't landing, and I thought, oh shit, well I know what this is, because sometimes, right, let me tell you something else, right? If dragons just fly around and round and round and don't land, if you have NPCs not doing what they should be doing, it doesn't always mean you've got a mod conflict. Sometimes you're running too much for the engine or for your system, and it just can't cope. There's just too much for it to cope. So the game doesn't play as it should. So I did medium settings for DynDOLOD 3 Alpha, and I reduced all my textures, or most of them, to 2K, with 4K for the grounding mountains. I think I kept those 4K with Cathedral. Excuse me. And my dragons then landed properly, and all the problems ceased. And if you want examples of what happens when you overload your system, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be a mod conflict. It can be you're just running too much for the engine, or a combination of engine stroke, you know, your memory, your graphics card, whatever. Because for me, I'm streaming off of my graphics card, okay, through OBS. The relatively new option of streaming through the graphics card. So my graphics card is not just running Skyrim, it's running OBS as well, and all the streaming. It's streaming as well. So this thing I want to do around here, I wanted to show. Oh, I've done all this anyway. I'll come back to what I'm going to do in game in a set. I'll carry on what I'm talking about. Yeah, so, you know, there's lots of things to be aware of. I mean, you know, more often than not, if the game isn't doing what it should be doing, you'll find it's probably a mod conflict, but sometimes you just be running too damn much. Simple as that, you know. And I'm as guilty as that as any other user, because I love my game to look nice. I want it to look nice. And you know, I love texture. I love aesthetics. First and foremost, I love aesthetics. I do love animations as well, like this running animation. Okay, and then with a bow as well. You know, different. You know, and I love. You know, I love reflection and shadow and light and all that sort of stuff. You know, so I love a good-looking game. That's my thing. that's what turns me on, if you like, is a good looking game. Um, and so yeah, so there's just a bit of landscape there, touch up. So yeah, I mean, but yeah, if you've got any load order problems, then you can come and see me on the on my Discord if you like. But like I say, these mod packs, they should provide a stable beginning. You can adapt them to your own setup if you like, you know. But I enlarged this chicken, if you wonder what's going on here. Okay, deliberately. Okay. So yeah. So there you go. Let's just go to, like I said, there's a lot of different locations with TPOSC. I'm just thinking they're not really an issue. What I want to be going to is places where there could be conflicts. With other mods, of course. And I've really got to run around the whole world because Lux Via changes up a lot. I've done a lot of it already, but... where should I go next? I mean, we will be doing as well. Oh, let's just bring that up a minute. Let's just come out a minute. We will be doing some Worm's Tooth and some Foscar as well in the testing. All right, got other mods loaded up, quest mods as well. So I'll just come out and see if there's any questions. And yeah, there should be, mate. I did those years ago. I had Snow Elf Ruins in the mod years ago, and I can't remember why, but I took them out. But yeah, I mean, there is a good mod. There's a mod out there that does that. You said you were using one, didn't you? Ah, it could be. Just thinking about that mod, I've just realised what you said there. Yeah, if you're, yeah, I don't know what areas it edits, but if you give me the name of the Snow Elf Ruins mod that you're running, I can check that out with TPOSC. But you're probably right, that's not going to help, especially like I say, if it's if he's got nav mesh or lots of collisions everywhere. But yeah. I'll go on the Nexus later, and I'll check that out. Okay. All right. That's definitely probably, that is going to cause a lot of problems, I'd imagine. I mean, you know, because like I say, I edit everywhere all over Skyrim TPOSC, so I'll have a look at it, right? And if it's not horrendous, I'll patch for it. And if I think it will work, if it works well with TPOSC, and if it's not massive in terms of all the edits, I'll do something with it. But I won't promise anything. It'll, you know. Okay. Well, I'll look for the ones that are completed, and that, you know, I'll patch for the ones that will work well with TPOSC, and the one you named there. And like I said, if it isn't a massive job, and I can get away with maybe, you know, it's only a small amount of edits or whatever, maybe a day's work, I'll do it. But well, you'll know because I'll mention it in the next stream, or you'll see the patch come out. But I'll look into it. But yeah, quite possibly some. You know, quite possibly. Yeah. Okay, I'll have a look at it. I'll go back in game. I'll have a look at it. Yeah, but anything like that then. So there's a good tip that, you know, I think I do actually write that down as well within the TPOSC write-up. But anything, you know, I always advise, if you look at my help page, my article page, I tell people to explore TPOSC and see all the locations. And if they've got a mod they want to run, see if there's any TPOSC locations near it or around it, because that's, especially if it's new settlements, because it'll be a good indicator. You know, if TPOSC has got any cells near what you're running, you're likely going to need a patch. I may not even put any you know, there may not even be any exterior edits, or what I'm saying is there may not be any buildings, but there might be dragon spawns or bandit spawns in the cell. There might be nav mesh work. There might be some trees removed or so on. And, you know, all these references will clash with another mod potentially. So yeah, things like that you've really got to watch out for, and I guess that's in some ways why people, you know, struggle with the People of Skyrim Complete, because it takes time. You're going to run the People of Skyrim Complete. It's going to take you time to learn about it, and it is a journey. And some people have that time, and some people don't. And I understand why some people get frustrated with the People of Skyrim Complete, because one, they probably don't understand truly the nature of what the mod does and how much time they're going to have to give to it, and two, they may not just know how to, you know, like I say, have the knowledge to deal with it in a successful way, so they just go round and round in circles. And I guess this is why now that even though I didn't particularly like the idea of mod packs, it's why, you know, I'm creating them for TPOSC, and this won't be the only mod pack. This will be the starter really, and then I'll do variations on this mod pack. And of course people can change this mod pack collection up to suit their own tastes, as long as they keep their overwrites correct and do things in the right order, and they know what they're doing. They should be able to adapt the mod pack to their own, you know, personal taste and usage. But what it does do is it starts to give people an idea of how to use the People of Skyrim Complete with other mods. Because again, just so you know, I'm using a lot of other mods, not so much exterior mods. I'm not doing that yet. Interior mods. I'm using most of JK's interiors. Oh, I've got some wolves here. Where are they? It's getting dark, and my eyes are crap, and I've got light shining on the screen. Alright, they're not bothering me, so let's keep going. This is the TPOSC border for Windhelm. Now, what was I saying about edits? JK's, yeah. Oh, for God's sake. That's on. Well, that was on target. So I'm using all of JK's interiors. I'm using. Let's just go, for example, to the mod configuration. Yeah, not a big deal. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. Sky UI, Run for Your Lives, Immersive Interactions, I Equip Footprints, Enhanced, DynDOLOD. There's lots of other mods. I'm using J Spira. Is it J Spira? Am I saying his name right? Her name? I'm using that author's mod. A lot of their work. I'm using quite a few scripted mods. I'm using, well, you know, to use I Equip, you have to use a lot of different mods just for that. You know, as you know. You know, so you can use tons of stuff with the People of Skyrim. I'm using loads of different textures, you know, in variations and you know, in overwrites and stuff. So I'm using all sorts of stuff. You can use all sorts of stuff. You've just got to use it sensibly and know what TPOS does. And most of what TPOS does is world edits, okay? And those are the things you've really got to be aware of. And the only other thing, probably the second biggest thing to the world edits is the spawns. You know, all the spawns that I place into the world, because you can use OBS, the bandit mod, with the People of Skyrim Complete. That works quite well, I've been told. The monster mod, you know, depending on which mod you're using, some will clash badly with TPOSC and some work well. I've never really investigated a lot of the other spawning mods, but I do know you have to be careful. And as I advise in my write-ups, use one, pick one, like OBS or I can't think of the. There's another particular one on my mind. There's many out there that you can use, but what I'm saying is just work with one and see how it goes. Because again, you know, loads of different spawns all across Skyrim, all those references to cells can have an impact. So again, it's about using things wisely. I've seen enough to know that I'm going to have to start a new game in this testing phase. Now I've made all these edits, and I'm basically going to have to start again. But I'm not going to do that until I've done a bit more testing, because I just want to look for more potential landscape errors or stuff like that, folks. So I think I'll see this week out as planned, and then I'm going to start a whole new game next week with all the edits done. And then hopefully we'll be near the end of this process now, with just a few more checks, because you know, I think we're getting there. I think, you know, we covered quite a lot in all the previous streams, and God, I need to take a breath. It's a lot of information. Okay. Okay, so how long have I been going? What's the time? Right, family's back about 1:45, so I've got another 10 minutes or so, and then I need to be getting on with it. So where else should we go? Where I want to check some stuff. Let's think. Where's this winter hole? We did quite a good sweep through there. We didn't check Tanner's Rest, but there's nothing up there, and so I'm not worried about that. Bit more. The tundra's pretty much covered. I've done that a lot over the last. Folk Wreath area is where we need to really do some more work, I think, and more checks. So let's hit the border. And then we're going to go into the deeper Folk Wreath, because there's mines around, there's other stuff around there that I do. There's some other traps, and I actually haven't been round there, so we will have some dragon spawns. Oh, it's raining, wonderful. Around this area we've been, and they haven't respawned, so that's good. I was expecting to be attacked straight away by dragons there, and they haven't been. Or have I? Is that a dragon spawn? What's he? Or is that? That's a no. Okay. Oh. Okay. So that's the skeletons. So it might be then that the scripts are taking effect, because there's 3-4 dragons here that would have respawned that we spawned in a previous stream. So maybe actually they're starting to take effect. That's interesting. Okay, I am going to go down to Folk Wreath, out through the Grave End, and deep into the Folk Wreath forested areas. Okay, I'll just check quickly before I do all this. Okay, alright, son, I'll check that out, okay? I'll do that for you. Let's, what time of day is it? Alright, it's early. Well, what's the stream like with the rain? Oh, you can see it, okay, alright, okay. Okay, folks, so yeah, so like I said, I'm going to check the Folk Wreath area. I'm going to do more of the Reach tomorrow. And then next week, after the weekend, I'm going to start a new stream with all the edits, okay? And that, because we need to retest the scripts, so to make sure that things don't respawn. And I need to check the landscapes and just go through certain things again, just to be doubly sure that everything's, you know, stable and working well. But like I say, I mean, if you check all the streams, you know, we've had the House of Zell. Yesterday when I was streaming, I think I cut the stream out myself, or the game crashed the desktop because I had the bloody CK open with TPOSC loaded. So what I'm saying is I had a system overload probably because I had TPOSC loaded in the CK, the game file in all these textures, as well as the game open. I didn't realise I had it, and I was wondering why I was getting pulls in game. And I checked after the stream and I didn't get the issues I was getting in game. So I think it's because I had the fucking CK open, excuse my French, while I was playing in game. And that's just stupid, you know. And I didn't suffer or have any issues when I checked after the stream, when I realised what I'd done. But like I say, this is why there'll be a final test of a new game start next week. A final test for the all the textures, you know, all the script changes, everything else. And then once because I'm also running my own EMB preset as well. I don't know if you might have heard already, but I've got an EMB mashup I'm working on. And I've got the interiors and nights looking lovely. The day still needs some work for my liking. I probably won't release it. I'm not really that confident on it. I think what I might do is stick it on Patreon free for people to download, so they can use it if they want to use it on PC, and then I'll wait for some feedback, and in time, depending on what people say, I might release it on Nexus, or I might just go to Fireman or someone like that and see if they'll just check it over for me before I release it on Nexus, once I'm happy with it. But anyway, That's something else because what I'm trying to do as well
Try not to
is
judge
create an
others too
EMB
harshly
that works
with
well
the
with
war.
everything.
The war has
Lux,
been
Lux Via, Lux Orbis, the TPOSC interiors, which let's go and look at one now. This is Falkreath TPOSC interior that's been edited. It has a roof, a loft attic as well.
Welcome. Let me know if you want anything.
And again, with an EMB preset, you can change up the lighting
You need to
to
leave
suit
now.
your particular interiors. 5 is brighter,
Need to leave.
more is darker. Okay, it's darker, lighter. I prefer it
Need to
darker
leave.
myself, but why is she telling me I need to leave? Cretin.
You need to leave.
No, they always say that the first time. No, that's all right. I need to leave.
Welcome to Dead Man's Drink.
Ah,
Take a look.
silly sod. Waiters are. Anyway, there you
Hear
go.
any juicy gossip in town? Be sure to
So
share
this is
with
the
me.
edits with Lux as well. I'm running Lux, the interiors, okay. And in some inns, Lux is far more powerful in its effects than this inn. But then I've got a loft, and all the light sources you'll notice is cut out. So that's why it's a little bit different in here. Now where's the roof access? There it is. The loft access is here. And this is going to be a questing. You know, if you don't, I've got the fucking bard in my ear. I'm just taking my earpiece out. Right, up here will be basically a fight guild, if you like. That's what's going on here. Right now, it's just a location, but TPOSC does have quests coming in the future, and this is obviously going to be part of a quest. In fact, most of what you see with my Dwemer ruins everywhere is all going to be quest-based. All the NPCs, then they'll all have backstories in quests. So that's, so like I say, there's a lot to come. Hence why I say this is Skyrim's, biggest immersive mod by any single individual. It is. There's and once all this is tested and this mod pack is out, once the People of Skyrim Complete. What's going on? Oh, just took a while to load there. Once the People of Skyrim Complete V7 1107 comes out, I think it's 6 now, version 6. Once I update this file, it should be near on a final version. That's the hope, all right? Because I'm scrutinising. That's why it's taking so long to get this mod pack done, because I'm scrutinising everything with a fine tooth comb in terms of landscape, performance, with the mods I'm running, the patches, everything, all right? So you have a good long playthrough with no issues, like you've seen in these streams, okay? I've already completed the main quest, so on and so forth, So we're going to do more questing as well. We'll do the Dark Brotherhood, we'll do Worm's Tooth. I'll slow down on these quests. I'm going to slow down on the streams once I've got the mod pack out, okay? Because I need to build and get on my building. But this TPOSC 1107 hopefully will be pretty much a final version, and then the quest will come in a modular separate mod down the line and other updates for it, so people can make language packs without always having updates for this mod, okay, if they want to do that, or if they want to do other things for the mod, because I've always, for years, I've updated this, changed it, updated it, worked on it, perfected my skills, so on and so forth, perfected the mod, and what I want to do now is pretty much get to a final version for these mod packs so it's stable, not being touched, as in no small updates, whether it's for lighting or anything else, and then people can use the mod packs and just go from there, and anything extra can be added on down the line. So that's the plan. Okay, now I really like blended roads. I love this mod. It's got a bit of flicker there, I thought. Might be like, again, that's the EMB probably effect in there, some edits, but nice. Sorry, daydreaming in the textures there. So yeah, that's the plan. And so this mod pack in all these edits and these anchoring patches, should give you a stable platform to use TPOSC. And as long as you understand what TPOSC does and what mods you want to add to it, and as long as your PC's got the juice and the guts and you're running the load order in the right way and you're running compatible mods that work with the People of Skyrim Complete, you'll have no issues. I haven't. When I run TPOSC for years and years, I haven't had any issues with it. in terms of long gameplay or CDTs or anything. The only time I get CDTs is when I'm trying to get it to work with another mod and I'm having to patch for it. Well, you're going to get that because that's, you know, sometimes, because that's what happens when you run patches that aren't compatible, you know. So let's go through the because I'm aware time's getting on, so, and I might have to continue this tomorrow. I was aware of a little bit of pool round here the other day when I was on the outskirts of the half moon. It's one of the reasons I'm here now, testing this area. I don't know if it's anything to do with Lux or Lux Via, if they've got any, if there's anything around here, I'm not sure. I know it's mainly roads, bridges, stuff like that, but you never know, so I need to check and just, you know, cover the bases, as they say. I'll just see if there's any questions. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, so yeah, that's the plan, folks. Okay, so the next few days, or tomorrow's Friday, I think. So it really will be more testing of this particular playthrough. Then I'm going to get on with the edits over the weekend. There you go. Look, there's another bit of ground. You see that? These are all the little things I want to pick up on and fix. So when you play, because it just spoils the immersive feature. It's shit, you know. But it happens, and it ain't just TPOSC edits with other mods. It's vanilla anyway. Vanilla does that as well, you know. So but it's just shit. If I'm making a mod pack, I'm going to make it to the best of my ability, and so you get the best experience, because that's what I want from my game. I don't put all this fucking effort in to have a bag of shit. Do you know what I mean? You know, who wants that? So this should help you, really. I'm hoping, you know, have a great gaming experience. Shit, have a great. I hate it when they move. I need my cursor to be brighter, because I can't see it half the time. You know, I want a nice gaming experience, you know, smooth, and I want it to look good, and I don't want to see things like the landscape, because it just detracts from the gameplay. It detracts, you know, from what makes the game great, you know, and just being immersed in the game. So for me, you know, that's what I intend to do. And like I say, you spot anything with TPOSC, if you ever use this mod pack, right, you let me know, because come and talk to me and report it on the forum, and I can come in and, you know, sort it out. Because there's lots of Skyrim to explore, you know, and with TPOSC, you will have lots of dragon spawns, and you will have enemies, you know, for quite a while. Although they won't no longer respawn, most of them, because I've addressed that now, because people just found it too much. So I've listened to what people said, and I'm just going to stop the respawning of some of the dragons and some of the hardcore bandits, alright? Not all, just some. And mainly the ones that are on the road. You'll still get the ones in the wild, you're still going to get some shit, but not all the time. Okay? Now this is one thing, I don't know if this, I changed my settings in violins, and I do find it a bit annoying that I think that's like a slow-mo or like a stun. I might change it back to, I think I actually prefer vanilla than that. I don't like that. I'm going to change that back, I think. Now what am I waiting for here? The interesting thing is, where I've got to check my location, folks, right? I've got to go up through here, I think it is. Is this the right direction? I should put a marker. Let's just put a marker so see what I'm doing. Now there should be, we should get spriggans, wolves, stuff like that. Alright, where's the marker? There it is. Let's go that way then. I just got to check the time. I'm crap at archery, mate, I tell you. Terrible at it. And I mean my cursor, or my aiming, you know, my crossbow marker isn't very bright, and it's hard to see. But I'm not very good at it anyway. I'm not very good at following the target, or sometimes giving enough elevation, especially at distance, and especially when I'm talking and thinking in game. If I'm just playing on my own, you know, and I'm not thinking about lots of other things, I'm a bit better, but I'm still not brilliant at it, you know. So yeah, there you go. So yeah, I mean, actually, I'm just thinking about it. There will be a Spriggan spawn if we. Oh, here we go. This is just Skyrim here. Ow, that hurt. Which is just Skyrim here, I think. I hit him, didn't I? Where is he? Oh, it's another one. There's more. Oh, there's more, I see. See, elevation there. That was too low. That one's... And he's moving now. No good at anticipating. Ah! Got him. Probably more by luck than judgment. Oh, that's terrible. Die! And of course I can slow down, I know, but I don't like doing that too much. I'm going to allow for their movement. There you go. That's a bit easier, I guess, isn't it? I prefer a natural instinct though, like that. You know, but I guess it's practice, and I don't get to practice so much nowadays. Dragon. I heard, oh no, these are my back. These are mine. Oh no, actually they may be. Let me think. They might be vanilla. Actually, I'm not sure. Oh Christ, I can't hit. I can't see nothing. I actually like this, but it's a pain in my. When you get loads of flames, I've got a lot of noise in my head, so I'm getting excited now, folks. But when you're getting hit by that fire, I can't see shit. And I must admit, I don't mind it. Because you know it just intensifies the game. I just get my emotions rise up and I get a little bit more edgy, you know, and and you can't see the enemy, and I like that actually, you know. It's sort of like the pain's blurring your vision, and I sort of like that because that's the way it should be anyway, you know. Wolves. Now there's wolves about. Like I said, we'll just explore the area and see what performance issues we get, if any, or any other types of conflicts. That's what I'm doing now, if you are wondering. Again, I want to see how everything plays. And don't forget, I'm in a stream as well. And like I said, my graphics is running the stream. So if I can manage all this in a stream, then you can run this. If you've got a good rig and you can see my specs in the description, there's an added TPOSC spawn, and she didn't pick up on me. Now there's another one, is there? No. What I'm saying is, if I can run all this on my system specs, look at my system specs in the description. As long as you ain't got conflicts, you should run it with yours, okay? Because I'm running at about 75-80% GPU. Okay, my GPU is running at 75 to 80% when I'm streaming with everything else I'm doing. Just so you know. There's another Sprigging over there. That's another TPOSC, alright? I've hit the trigger earlier and she didn't see me, or we didn't meet up. And you will have a lot of Spriggings on the tundra and round here. You may not pick up on them straight away though. Because the triggers, some triggers are large, some triggers are small, so you don't hit them all in one go. So you actually sometimes have to be moving past a tree before you'll hit it. And so they don't happen all at once all the time. So whenever you come through the area, you'll always hopefully pick up on a bit more activity. So that's the point of that. Quickly, any questions? Okay, right folks. So I do a lot of things in a lot of different ways. Some people like, you know, TPOSC, some don't. Like Marmite, you love it or you hate it. And even if you do like it, here's a TPOSC home, okay? You're not going to like it all, I guarantee, because who does? This is all personal taste for me. But you know, it's user choice, isn't it, at the end of the day. There are 3 or 4 of these abodes across Skyrim, okay, just like this. There's similar interiors, and maybe we'll leave it there. Maybe that's wise, because my family's going to be back any second, so I'm going to have to go. Shame, because I'm enjoying myself actually. And thank you for joining me, because it's always nice to have someone to talk to. Feel like I'm not just, you know, when I'm on my Todd, it's all a bit flat, you know. You're streaming away and it's not really that exciting on your Todd. But when you've got someone around, there's a bit of input. It makes it a big difference. So thanks for joining me, Sung, and anyone else that has. So I'll leave it there. I'll see you all tomorrow, probably around 11 o'clock tomorrow, GMT, 11:30. Probably be earlier tomorrow. So if you're about, I'll see you then. And if not, take care. Come and see me on my Discord if you have any questions. I'll have a look at that Snow Elf mod, okay? Farmeroon or whatever. I'll have a look at that and I'll patch for it. Okay, alright. Okay, so I'm Nesbit, you're all the people of Skyrim. Thanks for joining me, folks. I'll see you tomorrow in good gaming.